we're going to move on now. We've actually, we had some representation from, I think we have about, of the 7 people we got today, we've covered 6 countries in the world. But I also wanted to be a little bit biased towards Australians. And so we're calling it the Aussie panel now. And two of my favourite people as well, especially, so Gabbie actually used to work for me back in my days at Overdose. She was, she was the developer. Yeah, come over a little bit. She was one of the developers in my team who, she doesn't have as much grey hair as me, or maybe you're coloured, I don't know. But but we went through some serious stress there building out an agency team, and now we've has inspired me to move away from agency and try and make a fist of apps. And she's behind Sundae Lane and Biscuit bundles. So thanks Gabbie for joining us. And Adam from sunny Queensland, very similar story really, an agency guy. He's had an agency with his wife Carmel, and they've gone off and built a really niche app in POS Cafe. And something where actually, like, I didn't realize until I had you on the podcast a little while ago, and like I couldn't believe how many messages I got afterwards, just like people saying, I'm so glad you got Adam on. I'm so and everyone just, you've got this wonderful rapport with the community, and which I think surprised me, because you're from quite a remote part of the world. I guess I just hadn't crossed paths with you all that much, apart from meeting you briefly here last year. But I'd love to just I guess even just start off to talk about how you take with something sort of as niche as POS Cafe. How have you built that network and built the sort of the global reach with something that I'll get you to maybe even talk about what POS Cafe actually is, and then answer the question. Sorry, that was very poorly worded.
Really appreciate you inviting me on. Just to let everyone know, I'm a little bit nervous up here, so just please be patient. So POS Cafe is an app which we started specifically for the point of sale, Shopify point of sale platform, but has also now grown into much more than that. But essentially the core challenge that we were trying to solve was the ability for merchants in the food and beverage and restaurant QSR space to be able to use Shopify point of sale to run their food and beverage business. So initially we started out with tackling the challenge of modifiers on Shopify point of sale. So those are things like, let's say you take a coffee, for example, the ability to create what are called modifiers. So being able to specify the number of sugars that a coffee might have.
Take my soy milk order.
All of those kind of things, which on Shopify, we all know that there's the limitation of 3 variants. So with POS Cafe, we allow merchants to set up an unlimited number of modifiers. So that's where it started, but we have grown to a lot more than just that now. So we support order tickets and item routing to different preparation areas inside their cafe or their restaurant, kitchen display screen functionality, the online store now as well. We have a theme extension, and just lots of other things, different supporting different order types and all those different things that merchants in the food and beverage space really need. So that's what the problem that we are working to solve for those merchants.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're obviously flying to the other side of the world to now go and promote that here this week in Toronto. Like you've got you tell us a little bit about your footprint and how that's grown over the last couple of years and what you're doing to build that.
Well, I think in terms of the merchant reach that we've had, we've been very fortunate that the app that we're building is something that merchants are actively looking for. So we haven't had to do a lot of like any paid marketing or anything like that. It's been very organic so far. We've been very fortunate to establish a lot of relationships with the Shopify retail sales team, who are also pitching to merchants in that food and beverage space, and looking for an app to be able to solve some of those challenges that Shopify point of sale has. So we've been very fortunate to have a lot of interest just organically. In terms of the Shopify community, it's just amazing. I've been very fortunate that so many incredible developers and people in the community have just been so welcoming, so kind and generous, and sharing knowledge, and just being really amazing. So it's just an incredible community. So just been really fortunate to be part of it.
Yeah, awesome. And Gabbie, so yeah, you've like, yeah, it was about 3 years ago or so.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit filthy
Oh.
on you. I'm not now because I'm not there in the
That's fair.
agency either. But yeah, it was hard work losing you. But then yeah, we sort of bumped into each other at Toronto a
We
couple of
did.
years ago because yeah, somehow when we're both in Melbourne, never catch up. We
Never.
just catch up on the other side of the
Yeah,
world.
we can live next door and we would never
Yeah.
see each other.
Which the whole the whole it's amazing how much of the community's like that you've got people who you just catch up with here. So but yeah, like would you, when you were here 2 years ago, would you have imagined that you've actually made a business that has an app in the App Store
Not
that
at all.
runs for all that time? So
Yeah.
what's that journey been like?
Pretty scary to begin with. I was very lucky that Anthony, my partner in life and business, was already freelancing. I don't think I would have made the jump without that. And then I made the devastating decision to leave, leave you and the team. And then it was a lot of hustle because you are building an app for free. Basically, no one's paying you to build the app. So we were doing our own agency work on the side. So we had a lot of freelance work. And we just kept building bundles for people. And we were like, hang on a second, maybe we should make this an app. And so we built the app and obviously build it and make it better later. So got that MVP out and still trying to make it better to this day. And yeah, it's the organic growth, the same with Adam. Like we picked a very already occupied area, but it was also like Cart Transform came out and that was the carrot to be like, maybe we can make bundles now. So yeah, getting to do that and then getting to come here every year and meet new people and get to say like now we're full-time on an app is just dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I was going to drill down on that a little bit more. Like I guess it was, you did come in at a time when, yeah, with that Cart Transform API actually made it was probably harder for the people that already had bundles apps before that to stay relevant than it was to probably build something new at that point in time.
New and shiny, and solved that inventory issue of bundles, which was like the golden ticket to making it as native as possible.
Yeah, but you've also like you have managed to keep it really native within the platform, and I think one of the things that I love about the way you've done it too is you've kept it so that you don't you're not trying to be everything to everyone. And so how do you balance that? And this is, I think, the challenge for all apps at the moment, particularly with how fast it is to ship stuff. How do you decide what to bring into your product and what you need to decide to say, no, look, that's let's not build that.
I think we've probably spent every walk to the gym, every walk to the supermarket, every evening before bed going, should we build this? Should we build this? Should we build this? What's AI doing next? We obviously have a forum where our merchants can write in and say, we'd like this feature next. So we have a great indication of what to build next. It doesn't always mean that's what we should build next. So like you can use it as much of a solution for the 10 people that have asked for it, or you can ask yourself, what's the feature that's going to help the next 100 or whatever it is. So yeah, you can only do as well as what you choose and what you continue to develop. And I guess once we made a decision to develop something, maybe something else was better to make, but we made that and you make it work. So yeah, I don't think they're always winners, the decisions, but you do your best.
Yeah, no, that's it. And Adam, I can probably throw that exact same question at you because you would get some pretty curly stuff comes your way in some of your support tickets.
Definitely. I think the challenge is, and my wife, Carmel, who's also my business partner and partner in life as well.
Twins.
Is much better at this problem than I am, because I have a tendency to, for every new feature request that comes in, think it's a fantastic idea and just say promise people that it'll be done in.
Oh my God, me too.
And Carmel gets very cranky with me about that. But I think that we definitely see a lot of trends with what people are requesting, and we really try to judge what feature is going to bring the most value to the most number of merchants and prioritize those things. But it's definitely a big challenge and something that I'm not really good at. So I'm very lucky that my wife Carmel balances things out. But that's the approach we take. It's just we have I don't know what everyone else does, but we just have a spreadsheet of where we list out things that people are asking for and the number of people who've asked for the similar things, and it really helps to show what to guide our roadmap.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, and you're in that stage now where, like you touched on it, Gabbie, with that you start building an app and you've got zero revenue, and you're also all of a sudden you go from when you're doing the consultancy or agency work, you're charging a pretty good hourly rate. You work very hard for that hourly rate, but it is it's very different to all of a sudden you're giving that same level of support to someone for $10 a month or $20 a month,
or like a lifetime value of $10, and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah. But yeah, you've got to work through that. That's how you achieve scale. But yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit, Adam. We were talking about it before, just how you're evolving now. You've just put on a support person, and starting to get to that level where you can actually turn the app part into its own business as well. What's that journey been like, and what have been some of the challenges along the way?
It's definitely been a roller coaster journey of highs and lows. I think when we first launched our app, we had a lot of interest, but and a lot of installs and people starting trials, but then those trials were cancelled and uninstalled fairly quickly, because what we realized early on was that merchants in our space, they wanted to migrate to Shopify point of sale, but because we only had a few features built initially, those merchants couldn't run their business on Shopify point of sale in our app without having all of the things that they needed to keep their cafe running straight away. So they couldn't wait for us to build features. So unfortunately, in the early days, we did have a bit of a slow start, but as we focused on getting those core things up and going, things definitely started picking up for us. But it's definitely been a really challenging journey, and for every stage of revenue that we build, we're investing that back into the business with like support and an additional developer now as well. So it's been really challenging, and we still do run our agency kind of part-time to help with that, keeping that cash flow happening. So trying to balance all those things is really challenging. It is really hard. It's been a really hard journey for us, but we're really committed, and we really believe in what we're doing. And I think in the next 6 months, hopefully we'll be at a stage where we can really start backing off the agency work and really focusing full-time on our app.
Yeah, awesome. And in the POS space, like, do you still see there just being it's quite untapped really in terms of the opportunity that's there? Do you think you'll keep building out a tool set with POS, or do you think there's room for other players to come in and do their thing there as well? How do you see the POS ecosystem evolving?
Yeah, it's I think with every POS API release, there's things are getting better and better. There's the POS team are incredible and building amazing new APIs and things with every API release. So it's just getting better and better to build on. There's definitely some more apps in our space as well that are starting to pop up. But I think that we look at that as actually being a positive thing, because it allows merchants who are looking at migrating from other POS systems over to Shopify. It gives them more options, and then I think that we're really confident in what we're doing, but there could be other apps that might suit that merchant a little bit better. So we look at that as being a really positive thing, that there's more choices for merchants. I think it's just all about bringing as much value as possible. And from our point of view, other apps in our space we don't really look at them as competitors as much as we look at other POS systems as being the competitors. So the more that we can all bring over more merchants to Shopify, the more it benefits all of us, I think.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, it's a great attitude to have, and I think we've got even in the room today, we've got people who've got similar, like we've got the Foxtel guys who have a bundles app as well. And I know you guys support each other well, and
Definitely.
it's one of the wonderful things about this this community, and so it's very well said. But actually just to finish off, I wanted to pivot a little bit. Like I know for independent developers, particularly if you come from bloody the other side of the world. So Melbourne, where I come from, is actually the polar opposite part of the world to Toronto, and Queensland's not much closer. And I know you're over in Dubai at the moment.
Yeah.
It's still a long way, and it's a big investment, time, money to come over here for this. How do you get ROI out of a week like this? Sorry, I didn't want to use ROI in that question, but no, you know, how do you get the most out of this week? Sorry.
No, you're right. For me, the first, we're very lucky to have been here for the last 2 years and then this year. The last 2 years, I have felt like I have to meet everyone. I have to do everything. And this year, I'm just here to enjoy it. Like, I'm just here to see faces I recognize, listen to people who are like their success stories over the last year, the growth. Like, I get goosebumps. It's so much fun. And for me, talking to Shopify tomorrow is going to be awesome. Seeing the team again, and then seeing you guys, because I don't live in Queensland and we just don't meet up in Melbourne, is just, it's icing on the cake.
Yeah, amazing. I think that a week like this there's two parts to it. There's the actual content and the workshops and the presentations and things at .dev and the other like Brightwork and things like that, which are incredible. There's nothing beats being in person and attending those events. But then the other part of it is the relationships with the Shopify team and then other developers and partners. And so I think that even though we're all in the online space, there's nothing can beat being in person and having those in-person relationships and being able to ask questions directly to the Shopify team and give that feedback and just all those things. So I think it's absolutely worthwhile coming over here and just also getting to see all of the friends that I have now and meeting new people. It's just nothing can beat that. So just really excited to be here.
No, awesome. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you up here today. I was so glad we could have you both take part in this. So, let's give Adam and Gabbie a big round of applause.